onto Leeds United, their relegation seems absolutely inevitable. I think their panic installation of Sam Allardyce as manager was always a massive gamble. Felt like no lose for Allardyce, because even if they got relegated, it was kind of true to form recently, isn't it, for him? He's not considered an elite manager anymore, or even a Premier League level manager. So
he considered himself one.
He did, yeah. And I think that's the thing. He's been caught out. Leeds have been caught out for making such a bad decision on their part. And it's cost them massively, because, again, if they'd have stuck it out with even Javi Gracia, who knows where they'd have finished. But a talented squad that will no doubt be disbanded completely. They can't afford to pay some of the wages that they're paying their players at the minute in the Championship. So what's the future look like for Leeds now, do you think?
Leeds are a funny one, because I look through that squad and I actually wonder how talented it is. They signed players with huge ceilings and huge bits of potential, and then I haven't seen anything from some of them. There are a few players that will get picked off. You'd think Wilfred Gnonto will get a move back to the Premier League, or maybe even over to Italy. He can't be playing in the Championship next season. That would be ridiculous. Players like Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, can they move on as well? You'd imagine it'd be odd to see them not. Leeds will have to shift some of them, like you say, because the money they've spent on some players. Jorginho Rutter is their record signing. They can't even play him because they can't afford to play him right now. So he'll move on as well. And then you look at the rest of that Leeds squad, and actually a lot of it is what's left over from the Championship. Their defence against Spurs, it was woeful. It was so bad. They looked all over the place. I understand that once they were 2 down, they had to go forward and try and get something out of the game, but they left themselves so open at the back. It was embarrassing. Yeah, Leeds I've got more worries for. I'll be honest. I think they'll lose a lot of players on quite cheap deals. I don't think they'll bring in much money. They haven't got a Maddison or a Barnes that you look at and go, okay, they'll recoup something there. They're actually going to make some pretty big losses, I think. And I don't know. I don't know what Leeds' plan is, because their plan was Jesse Marsch, it seemed like.
Yeah.
They bought players around him and then just decided to sack that off. And I think they'll regret that now. I honestly think that would have been better to keep him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You've got this managerial influence from Jesse Marsch, from Javi Gracia, and from Sam Allardyce. It's such a weird mix. And even Marcelo Bielsa, there's a lot of his influence still there. So 4 very different coaches have influenced that team in a short space of time. So who are Leeds United anymore? I really don't know. They need to think about their identity in the same way that probably Burnley did this season. Reinvent themselves, have a coach and back him in a style that's going to get them out of the Championship, first of all. Also prepare for the fact that they might be there for over a season or more, because I think bouncing back with the amount of competition in the Championship, there's the likes of Sunderland and Middlesbrough didn't even get up this season. So, and obviously joining them in the Championship will be Leicester and Southampton, who both look quite promising to come back up as well. Yeah. So it's competitive, and I think they'll struggle, to be honest.